You ever feel like you're going against the wind or with the wind? We're going to think about that today. Now at Devotions from Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus. So, clearly I'm out on a bike ride, and biking in Minnesota is a very, it's a choice, right? Because in Minnesota, the road seams are often serious because of freezing and refreezing and thawing. The shoulders in most country roads are very narrow, and you don't have a lot of distance bikers on those kind of roads. There are trails, and people try to stick to those. But if you're in rural Minnesota, biking is a trick. And one of the things I learned very quickly, I really started biking quite a bit in high school, like people do. But then I started to get way out in the country, and you discover a couple things when you're on a bike in Minnesota. It's the summer's a lot like the winter. You have to think about the wind all the time. Whatever your route is, where you're going, like the amount of extra energy you burn, depending on the direction you're going or how the wind is quartering or those kind of things, it really matters. And it's the same with sun and shade. In Minnesota, there's not a lot of shade on highways. So you are in the sun and you are in the wind. And the times that you're out of the sun and out of the wind, like this little resting spot here, they matter. And you want to pay attention to those, especially if you're going for more than an hour or two, right? So I wanted to put that all in your brains as we think about our text this week. So we are in the book of Matthew this week. It is chapter 28. And Jesus says to the disciples, right before he ascends into heaven in the book of Matthew, he says, "All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Go out, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey all that I have commanded you. And remember, I am with you, even unto the end of the age." Wow. These are his parting words before he ascends and then sends the Spirit, which then, of course, means we should pay attention a lot. First off, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. That means some things, but I would start with, what was Jesus' judgment? It was, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. Followed by, go out and baptize. That's an interesting command. And then to do it in a Trinitarian way, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So the first thing I would suggest about this text this week, what Jesus describes here, all authority on heaven and earth has been given to me. Go out, therefore. He was sent out. Go out, therefore, and make disciples. That's not a one moment kind of deal. That's not a 1 second kind of deal. That's a life of effort and relationship and time. Making a disciple took Jesus years and many acts and signs of love. And he was God's son, and it took him years. We're people. I mean, yes, he was fully human and fully God, but we are acting with the Spirit at best on faith. It might take a bit longer. I mean, that's the first thing I would suggest to you, that everything Jesus says here, go out and make disciples, baptize, these things are going to take time. The next thing I would suggest to you is that these are things that are going to take time and are going to include discomfort, right? Teach them to obey all that I've commanded you. What? That's a lot of stuff. And it's a way of life. And people don't always respond well to changes and corrections. That takes relationship. Again, it takes time. And it will include discomfort. I'm pretty excited here. I get to turn around. I've had a southeast kind of quartering headwind the whole way out here. And I'm going to turn around and then hit a more all the way back. I'll be with the wind. And then I'm going to do a sheltered couple loops of a trail just to end out the ride, because I don't feel like doing these hills in the wind again, right? You decide what level of discomfort you can handle over time when you do a long bike ride or a hike or a walk or parenting or teaching a classroom. Like, what fights do you want to have? If there's a rock in your shoe, are you going to adjust it now, or when are you going to adjust it? If something's not working over time, how will you deal with it? That's what we're talking about when it comes to loving our neighbor over time. Discipling, being disciples. It's a lifetime of effort, and it's going to include discomfort. Love is not a one-time move. It takes time. It bears itself out over time. When we say that love believes all things, bears all things, hopes all things, yeah, day after day after day after day. It's not just one moment. So everything Jesus says to his disciples, he says, go out and baptize in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Remember, I'm with you till the end of the age. And that's how. That's how. Now, I will fully admit, as a pastor in ministry for 20 plus years, in ordained ministry for 11, 12 now, guys, I don't know how baptism works. Like, I do it because Jesus tells me to. Full stop. And there's a lot of things in my life that are that way. But he says do it, so we do. And he says he'll be with us, and so we believe he is. And then living it out, we see that he is. And the Spirit helps us to do that, but it takes time, and it includes discomfort. And we trust in that presence, not just because Jesus said so, but because over time we see it happen. That's your thought for this week. Are there places in your life where society, which it does, it encourages you to just be in every single moment all the time for a good fix or dopamine or to feel better about something or to be sold something or to be entertained? Like, humanity, usually our greatest gift is that we can love and we can pay attention over time. And we can pass on information and story over time. I would encourage you to hear those words of Jesus today, that he's with us to the end of the age as his greatest mark of love, not just our salvation, but his ongoing presence. I'm Pastor Chris from Trinity and Lutheran, and Cyrus are ready to go with the wind. Signing off for now.